Dear friends at EZA, happy birthday. We're very happy to join the celebrations of your 40th anniversary. My name is Sergi Corbalán from the Fair Trade Advocacy Office in Brussels. Unfortunately, we cannot be here with you today. That's a pity. But we wanted to be with you at least online to join this important day. EZA, since 1975, is a leader in the fair trade movement in Austria, at European, at the global level, and really that's a very important occasion to celebrate. The Fair Trade Advocacy Office in Brussels is a joint advocacy office of the fair trade movement. Therefore, it is your office in Brussels. We're very happy for the support that EZA, both as EFTA member, European Fair Trade Association member, but also just as a fair trade organization, has been providing always to the FTAO. We're very thankful for this, and therefore we want to say we want to work more with you in the future. Via its support to the FTAO, EZA has been contributing to changes at European Union policies. For example, we've been working in the last years to make sure that the new EU public procurement rules make it easier and possible to choose fair trade in public contracts. We've successfully lobbied the European institutions to make sure that the new EU trade strategy, which was issued a few days ago, actually includes a whole section on ethical and fair trade. It's the first time that the trade strategy recognizes the added value of fair trade and commits to specific actions to support it, such as setting up a European Fair Trade Capital Award, promoting fair trade via the EU delegations abroad, and also financing market studies on the fair trade market in Europe. So we're happy about these achievements. Now, nevertheless, we remain realistic. It's not because the EU supports fair trade as an alternative way of doing trade that all trade is fair. And EZA mission is also to contribute to fair trade rules and practices, and therefore there is a long way to go. We've been recently working on a campaign to raise awareness on imbalances of power in supply chain. We issued a report in October 2014, and actually next week, on the 10th of November, we'll be issuing a report on the banana supply chains in Europe, showing how big actors are actually abusing their buyer power and pushing unfair trading practices to small farmers. Later next year, we're going to be working on textiles, on the textile supply chains. What's wrong with the textile supply chains, and showing that small farmers, small cotton farmers and artisans are often taken out of the picture when discussing what an ethical, a fair, a sustainable textile supply chain is. On the website of EZA, there is a very interesting quote. Those who think that have no power are actually doing a big favor to those that have it, by Christian Falber. And I think that that is something that we should remind ourselves, and EZA should remind itself. EZA, as part of the Austrian fair trade movement, has the power to make things change. Not only you're showing that it is possible to have an alternative way of doing trade, but you also have the power to change policies and practices of conventional trade. I was last year in one of your workshops in Vienna, and it was amazing, and there was a petition and it was talking about the imbalances of power in supply chain. So it was very empowering and a proof that actually EZA in the wider fair trade movement in Austria have the capacity to raise awareness and put pressure on politicians to put more progressive and fairer policies. You can put in coordination with other fair trade actors in Austria. You can work to lobby the Austrian government to put fair policies in Austria, but you can also help us and help the fair trade movement in having the Austrian government put at EU level the need to have fair trade and development policies, both via the Austrian government and also via the Austrian members of the European Parliament. Of course, we're not starting from scratch, And IZT, in cooperation with Südwind and other actors, has already done a lot of work, and that's great. But there is a lot yet to do, unfortunately, to make all trade fair. So we count on your power, and we need it. Last but not least, we also need your experience, your knowledge of supply chains, your contacts with producers, your knowledge about what works, about what negative impacts certain policy changes can have on producers. We need that as well. Therefore, I just want to say that on the 40th anniversary of IZT, that I'm very happy of how we've worked so far, and look forward to 40 at least more years of fruitful cooperation. Happy birthday again, and have a nice and pleasant and fun birthday celebration.